characteristic that she talks about is the difference between help and support. And the reason why I say it's one of my biggest pet peeves because as an entrepreneur, I love being able to inspire people. And, if they see your efforts, it inspires them to be like, you know what, I can do that too. But what I'm noticing that what a lot of people like if you've mapped out a path for them to achieve something and the difference between a person that wants help versus support, like I don't help people. I
Ex-
support them and to get them to a desired end. But talk to us in your book how you define the difference between help and support because I felt that deep when you talked about that. Um, you have that person that they admire you for what they're doing, and like, you know what, you inspire me, and I feel like I could do that too. And then instead of you supporting them, you find I'll let you define it, but they literally want you to do it for them. They don't want support. They want what you define as help. So talk to us about help versus support.
So yeah, that's actually a very big idea, and it's actually a pitfall for lots of people. I think people actually think they're asking for support. When you don't give them help, what they'll say is, you don't support me.
Support me.
No, that's not true. So people are very confused about what help is and what support is, and I try to sort of demystify that and break that down, very simply so everyone could understand that. So support is, well, let me start with help. And I use the example of this. Let's say, you become unemployed, something, your money gets strange, your change is strange, and bills are coming up, and you're having some financial problems.
Right.
So you have a car note, and for whatever reason, this month you can't make your note. You may call a friend, relative, whoever, and you ask for help. Help is asking for someone to pay your note or to give you money so that you can pay your note for this month. What
Mhm.
help does is help actually sustains the conditions that exist. So you're no more employed. Your financial system is situation is not any better. Nothing has changed. You have just prolonged. You have just delayed the inevitable, and you have taken help, this money, to keep you in the same condition that you're actually in, which is in fact the problem. So the problem is not addressed. You are just maintaining the problem. That extra money, that note, the payment of that monthly note is just keeping you in the problem. Support is different. Support is someone who says, hey, listen, I know that you're in a tough situation. I know someone who can tell you how to refinance your note and maybe get you into a note that's more manageable while you're struggling with your finances. So I'm going to, give you the number of my brother-in-law who works at the dealership, or who can tell you, go to your dealership and ask them for this, or show them how to do that. Or someone who says, hey, listen, right now may not be a time for you to own a car. Get out of this as unscathed as possible. Let me show you how you can sell it, or let me show you what you can do. That is something, support is something that changes the conditions that you're in. It doesn't sustain them like help. It actually changes the condition you're in. If you sell your car, if you refinance your car note, now those conditions have been changed. So I say that help, if you want to, sort of think about it, I said it's like the ball that oscillates and settles in the same place. It is an action that really produces no result.
Right.
There's movement, but the movement doesn't take you forward. And if I could, that's part of the reason for the ask backwards way to move forward, because I thought to myself, if you ask someone to turn around and then walk forward, they cannot do it. You
Mm,
simply
ah,
cannot do it. You literally, if you stood up right now and I said, go that way, but turn around, you cannot do it. It is an extremely laborious and difficult thing to do. So that's what help is. Help is a lot of motion and a lot of activity that changes nothing. Support may not be as much activity, but it does actually move you from one condition to another.
I think what distinguishes those two is that support actually requires effort on your part, whereas a lot of people are unwilling to make the effort. They're unwilling to say, okay, this person is offering to support me in this area to help change my condition, but it is going to require something from me. Um, I like how you made the distinction with like the part the it was it's the way you write it's just so funny because you said it is rare to find a poor person involved in any activity that does not involve the pursuit of something subsidized or the result of some assistance. As someone who desires to be poor and miserable, you must begin seeking help early and often. Your search will be fruitful. Shifts in the modes of production have moved money and resources away from manufacturing and other key economic sectors and concentrated them in the social service sector. So rest assured, you will be unable to exhaust the plethora of social programs available to help you. And then you contrast it with support. And so my biggest takeaway from that, I was like, you know what, you don't want to, or at least to my audience, you don't want to be that person. We understand like right now we're living in very economic uncertain times. Interest rates are kind of like touch and go. Inflation is just out of control, ridiculous. And the tendency to want to be like, you know what, I need some help is there. And I don't want to minimize that. But what I want to encourage people to do, which is what most people in the population don't want to do, they don't want to seek support and change some habits and change some things in an effort to change and get different outcomes. They're just like, I just need you to give me a check right now. I need a bailout. I need a stimulus. It's like, gimme, gimme, gimme. And notice think about all the people you know that got some stimulus money during the pandemic. Where are they now or what are they doing now? Would it have perhaps been better to offer support with some real solutions other than help? I don't know. That's something people need to think about, but it definitely made me think about I when I read this part, I was like, yeah, I know the help person. And it's no matter how much you help them, their situation never changes and they'll constantly want to come back. And that's one thing every mentor I've ever had where there was in the entrepreneurship space, they did not help me. They supported me, meaning they're like, here's the book that I read that got me on the path to where you say you want to be. You need to read this book. And it's like, well, if you don't read the book, then you won't get the tools and the resources that you need to get to where you want to go. They never helped. It was always in the form of support because people who are where you want to be, they're not going to help you, but they will offer loads and tons of support when they see that you're willing to take the initiative and put forth the effort to help you support your own self. See, I'm trying to change my own language, right? Girl, you see, you changing lives one book at a time, sis. But I ooh, the iPad is talking. I think that was Siri. I lost my place. Here we go. What I want to do now is I want to shift to pillar number. Okay, this was a hard one, y'all. And so